Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anggi. Today I'm going to do a presentation about double mind condition through Indonesian literature. I hope I'll make this quick since I'm the last one to present. So the literature I'm going to explain is Bumi Manusia, or in English it's This Earth of Mankind. Written by Pramudia Anantatur. This was first released in 1975, and this also was part of his series called Buru Quartet, which is a series of a collection of stories that he wrote when he was stuck on an island in Indonesia called Pulau Buru. This novel was banned for a few years by the government due to the allegations of teaching the Marxism and Leninism, also communism, which was banned during the New Order, when this novel actually never mentions anything about these allegations. And this novel has been translated into 40 languages, including English, Dutch, Japanese, Italian, French, Thai, and German. There's a lot, so I cannot mention every single of the language. And then this novel was set in the Dutch colonial period of Indonesia in 1898 to 1918. So this novel, Bumi Manusia, got its adaptation movie in 2019. It was supposed to be adapted in 2008, but somehow it got postponed. And if you're not into reading, this movie is really good for you to help you understand more about the story. I've watched this movie and it helps me a lot to understand the story. And these are some of the main characters of the novel. The first one we have here is Minke. He's a smart Javanese man who loves reading and writing. He's also the son of the governor, so he has quite a name. And then the second one is Annelies Melema. She's half Dutch and Indonesian. She is a really smart woman who loves the Javanese culture. And the third one we have is Nyai Ontosoro here. She is the wife of Annelies' dad, even though her marriage was never legal, either religiously or by law. And then the last one is, it's not shown on the screen, but we have someone here. He is Martis Melema. He's Annelies' dad. And this is also some of the other characters. I'm sorry, the descriptions are in Indonesian. I could not find one in English. So we have the Jean Marais. He is a French painter, and this one is Robert Serhoff. He's a friend of Minke, but he had a love triangle situation with Minke and Annelies, so he hates the main character Minke. And then there is one, it's the dad, and then Robert Melema, Annelies' brother, the son of Martis Melema, who really hates the locals. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit brief summary of the story. So Minke is a man who enjoyed any kind of culture and literature, including the European. He was enrolled in a Dutch school, which was unusual for a local to enroll, even for a local to get a high education. He also met the love of his life, which causes a lot of questionings from the locals for marrying a Dutch woman. And then his kindness was betrayed by the Dutch. Minke realized that the culture that he loved and enjoyed was actually the oppressor of the other nations, including his own. The Javanese people have told him that the Dutch was actually the bad guy, but his love towards the culture shadowed the fact. And he hates himself for not realizing this at the very first place, and regrets his action, including having his works posted on a Dutch newspaper, even though he submitted it with an anonymous name, but he still regretted it. And in the ending of the story, so during this time, Nyai Ontosoro and Annelies had a business together, but then Annelies was forced to go back to her country, and then Minke and Nyai tried to make her business survive. But since Annelies is one of the owner and she's not there, they can't continue even though Minke is her husband, because the European law would never favor a local like Minke, and then during this time, Indonesia had to follow the European law. So the main character's double mind that I found was this. Minka loves and appreciates the European culture, but his love towards the culture was questioned by the locals. Also, he started to regret his action that includes everything with the European culture, but he cannot escape because he married a European woman. And then from the writer's point of view, the Pramudia Anantatur, he portrayed an unjust life of the Indonesian people during the Dutch colonization period when social status was governed by the amount of European blood running through their veins. Also, the character Minka, as an outspoken person, he refused to do this hierarchical society by becoming a writer instead of a speech maker, which resembled Pramudia's life, who was jailed for 2 years after carrying an anti-Dutch documents and then became a writer. That's all the presentations for today. Feel free to ask questions. Thank you.
Talk with you about this culture of So this is a typical Indonesian situation, even today?
No, today is already, of course, it's different. So back in the day during the colonization.
Colonization. Okay. If you can raise your hand. Do you have any idea about the Indonesian culture or history presentation? Okay. But anyway, I do not know about your term, local. What's the meaning of the local? Local means...
Local means the native people, Indonesian.
Indonesian. And he is somehow a kind of elite, or...
I would say he's not an elite, but he was just a regular local. But he has a name because he's the son of the governor during that time.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Very good. It's a very typical situation in the colonization area.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's a very interesting presentation. Great.